So let's move on to talk a little of Bull's favorites, some off-season Cavs stuff here. Because I know nothing gets Bull going like talking about
like
the young
rankings
players
of
in the
cores.
NBA.
Here's the problem. I'm sorry, but I can't get excited about the Cavs core because they played like absolute shit in the playoffs, and I can't get excited about them. I don't think they're going to win anything.
So I'm
ever.
still, I still feel some type of way based off the playoff performance. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't, and I'm not trying to let my emotions get involved. But the facts are that it's not a talent thing with me. I just think some of the core don't have no heart, and when you don't have no heart, it's hard to really win on that big stage. Yeah, they got all the talent in the world, but to me, I think that they got exposed as a team that lacks toughness and lacks heart.
All true. Is it not talent also? I mean, do they have enough talent? Have we overrated their 4 best players?
No.
And do they have any talent besides that?
Well, no. I mean, the bottom of the roster is awful. Anything beyond the top 4 really is average at best. Yeah. But Jared Allen concerned me in the playoffs with the lights were too bright and the way that he just got absolutely bullied in that series. He's the one with the experience coming from Brooklyn. That's the one that I think is most alarming. I'm not so much, and Donovan wasn't great either, and that's concerning. But the talent obviously is there. He just didn't have a good series. But Darius and Evan being their first time there, I still think this is a really good team. I do think that. I'm curious, what would be successful for you? I know you don't care about the regular season. I tend to agree with you on that. So what if they win one playoff series? Is next year successful?
It's a good question.
It's a step.
So. Yeah.
But it's not going to feel like it. In the moment, it won't feel like it.
Right, because I guess as down as I am on them right now, if they won a series and then if they played a really good team in the next round and played a good series but lost, I would still say, okay, I feel better about the team.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think going there the first time and losing, I didn't like the matchup with the Knicks.
No. And it was just how poorly they played.
Yeah, they got embarrassed.
Yeah.
But I do think it's not inconceivable that they go back and they make a much deeper run, that they win a series, maybe even 2 series. I go back to when we did Fence Riders, and I said I thought they'd be in contention for one of the top 2 seeds. I absolutely think that's true. Being in contention and winning it is not the same
totally
conversation. It's 2 different things. But I think they're totally in contention for one of the top 2 seeds. I think Evan Mobley is going to become that guy. I've been high on him all along. And the way that Mobley and Allen, the way that it's more palatable to play them together is if Evan starts hitting shots, because it's not going to be Jarrett. So Evan's got to start making more shots. And, I don't know how realistic it is to expect him to become this 35% three-point shooter in one offseason. I don't know. But he regressed last year.
Right.
From his rookie year to last year, he regressed. So he has to take some sort of step in his perimeter game.
If he doesn't, by the end of the year, do you think you and others might say maybe he's not going to be that player? If there's no progression this season.
And still only year 3, and he's still only 22, and I'm not going to cap a guy at that age. But it will be disappointing for sure. And I think if he doesn't take that step, then I think you do have to look at breaking up Jarrett and Mobley, because you can't keep playing 2 non-shooting bigs together.
You don't think there's any chance they're going to get rid of Allen this offseason?
I think it probably would have happened at the draft if it was going to happen. I mean, in free agency, they could do something in a where he gets involved in something. But no, I think right now the plan is to bring this back and try it again. And there is a lot of talent. Like, I don't want to be too down on them. There is a lot of talent here. It just ended so poorly last year. It's left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
I thought before they traded for Donovan Mitchell, the Cleveland Cavaliers was a playoff team. I thought the trade for Donovan Mitchell would at least allow them to win a series or 2. So to me, that's why it was so disappointing to see how they played, to see them get eliminated so soon. I think that when I talk about guys lacking heart or toughness, I'm not talking about Donovan Mitchell. I think he has all of that.
I don't think he showed any heart or any toughness in the playoffs.
But he definitely showed, put it to you this way, he showed some accountability. He showed more accountability.
But he was the biggest GOAT for the Cavs in the playoffs.
That's true. But I'm just saying, when I look at this thing.
Bad GOAT, not good GOAT.
Yeah, bad GOAT, right.
I just look at it like, I thought that would win the Cavaliers a playoff series, and it didn't. And so now I'm looking at all the pieces around him. Jared Allen, I'm with you. When you came out and said the lights was too bright, that really disturbed me. It seemed like Darius Garland was willing to take a back seat and just let Donovan Mitchell do his thing. And it's like those things can't happen when you get to the playoffs. Like, it's gut check time. You got to show what you really about.
I don't know, though. Darius Garland played better
it.
than Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs.
Yeah, but he disappeared. It was one game. He didn't have no points going into the half. He come out. He had a great third quarter.
He was inconsistent. Darius was inconsistent.
Yeah, he was. And that just, it really pissed me off. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, as far as the Evan Mobley development, 7-footers take a lot longer to develop than a lot of other guys. I think Evan Mobley has gotten better. Like, first year, second year, he improved in points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, and then he was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
So even if he doesn't take the 35% from three-point step this year and he still progresses in other areas, I'm cool with that. I'm not going to give up on his development because his offensive game is not developing at a pace that a lot of people thought. I think that was one of the things that Kobe Altman understood when he drafted him, that his offensive game will take a little longer to develop. He came in as an elite defender.
Yeah.
And so it's about, can it develop enough to mesh with what Jared Allen doesn't do well?
And also, I think we've talked about this on the show before, but the train's out of the station. And so it's not necessarily about getting the most out of Evan Mobley and maximizing Evan's potential. It's about winning games.
Yeah.
And it's an odd spot to be in because usually when you draft a guy third overall, you're going to be not very good for a while. And so he has time to grow and develop. And the Cavs aren't on that time frame now. Like, it's time to win. And so if that means Evan's progression comes along slower at the cost of wins, well, then that's the way it has to go because you're trying to compete for a championship. You're on a finite window on Donovan's contract, and it's time to go. And if that means Evan lags, then that means Evan lags. I still think that there's things they could do, and I wrote about this. I think we talked about it during the season. Give Evan the first touch every game. Why not? Like, and when Kevin was here, he and I had a conversation about it during the championship years. Kevin got the first touch every game. Other teams knew it was coming. It didn't matter. Whether it's an elbow, a corner three, get your big guy involved early. Let him touch the ball. Let him get a feel for the game. Let him see a shot go in, hopefully. And the Cavs just never really made that a priority. And it's those little things. It's not a big deal, but it's the little things of make sure Evan touches the ball the first time down. It's a simple hack code to try and get him activated early. Kevin loved it when Kyrie and LeBron were here. And he had quarters where he had 18, 20 points in the first quarter, and then he finished with 26 or 28. But it was getting him involved early, getting him activated early, really sort of set the tone for big guys throughout the course of the remainder of the game.
Here's a stat that shows you how trash the Cavs organization has been besides when LeBron is here. The Cavs have played 53 seasons in the NBA, right? 53. LeBron's played, 11?
11.
Okay. In LeBron's 11 seasons, do you know how many playoff series they have won?
In his 11 seasons?
11 seasons with the Cavs.
How many playoff series have they won? Well, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Is it close to 20?
16, 17, 18. It's right around 20. I'd say it's right around 20.
You are correct. 21.
There you go.
Cavs have won 21 playoff series, in the 11 years that LeBron's been with the team. In the 42 years without LeBron, how many playoff series have they won?
Less than 10.
Give me a number. I don't want to hear less than 10. Give me a number.
6.
6 for Earl. Jason?
Oh, man. Let me think.
42 years. And remember, in the early years, it wasn't as many teams in the playoffs, but for a lot of years, it's been 8 teams in the playoffs.
I think he's close. I'd say 7 or 8.
You're saying 7 or 8? Mike, how many playoff series? You got the Cavs. How many playoff series have the Cavs won in the 42 years they have not had LeBron?
I think I saw a stat on this, but I think it's like 3.
All right. Steve, you want to guess?
He says 2.
All right. The answer is you're all wrong, but you're all fairly close. 4.
Man, I doubled it.
Those 90s teams with Daugherty and Price and those guys won 3 series. They went to the conference finals one year.
One time.
And then they won in the first round another year. So they won 3. And then way back in the 70s, they won 1 series. They got to the conference finals. But in those years, there was only 4 teams.
Yeah, there was less rounds.
Right. Think about that. This organization has basically been garbage.
I mean, they instituted rules the Stepien rule. You can't trade your pick in consecutive years because of Cleveland.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part, and I'm showing my youth right now. I remember when Terrell Brandon was the point guard, and I seen the Cavs make the playoffs when they were still a Washington Bullets, and Juwan Howard was there.
Yep.
And then I remember when Wesley Person was on this team and they made the playoffs against the Pacers. Didn't stand a chance against the Pacers. But I was just pumped to see my team in the playoffs because growing up, I never seen the Cavs in the playoffs. Growing up for me, the Browns was not here. The Cavs was horrible, and I hung my hat on every single thing that the Guardians did. My mother used to let me stay up to watch, like, the World Series when they would go play in the World Series. Jose Mesa, man, put me to bed in tears because he just couldn't do his job.
Joe Table. Didn't get it
Couldn't do
done.
his job, man. He couldn't do his job.
Sad but true. All right, Mike, go ahead.
So that was a nice little
Did I kill
detour.
enough time for us to not do this topic?
Nope. We're going to do it no matter what. We're doing it no matter what. So
Good try,
the
though.
Cavs, you just mentioned a lot of the guys
Yeah.
under 25 in the Cavs. Their core, Steve, you take the graphic, of 25 and younger players, their core, young core, is now led by Evan Mobley. You have Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro, and Emoni Bates.
Did you make up this core, or is this from some list or something?
No, it's just the 5 guys that
Okay.
are 25 or younger on the team. So I was like,
I mean, that's a little embarrassing putting Emoni Bates on that list.
is he younger than 25?
Do we know if he's ever going to play a minute in the NBA?
He's not a core. Emoni
I'm
Bates
just saying, is he younger
That's
than 25?
embarrassing. It's embarrassing to have
Wait a
Isaac
minute.
Okoro.
Is this
Here
your
we
list
go.
or is this?
It's Mike's list.
Oh.
No, well, this was there was a post on ESPN. It
Jared
tweeted out-
Allen's not 25?
He's 25.
Oh.
25 and younger. If you
Okay.
read Bull, that's what it says, right? In the Cavalier
He's
color
spicy today.
line
That's
lettering.
fair. I'm picking on him, so he is. I like that.
But no,
goal back.
there was a post on ESPN and it listed their 4 or 5 best cores under 25, and I was like, oh, well, let's make a Cavs one, see where it ranks among.
Because they didn't have the Cavs on
They
there.
did not have the Cavs on there, no. And if we're doing just
Emoni
core
Bates.
pieces, the bottom 2 on that list are not on there as of today, at all, not even close. So let's.
By
go
the way,
through
by the time the season starts, G and Earl are going to have Emoni Bates averaging 17 and 8 this year.
Man, listen.
I'm telling you. Remember I said that.
He's the starting 3 on opening
I don't know.
night.
I saw this guy in summer league. He's looking great.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that. I think I
Yeah.
put this in our group thread.
Be careful. I know what you're gonna say, Jason. Don't.
I think I know where you're
I
going
know
with
what
this
you're
too.
gonna say. Don't say,
say
it.
it. No,
Let's just
say
move
it, Jason.
Let's
say
just
it.
move on. I don't want to deal with. You don't get
Say
tagged
it.
in the
I don't
tweets.
know what
Say
it is.
You don't get tagged in the tweets. You don't get the YouTube notifications. My phone almost broke last night.
Yo.
What?
Nope. All right, I won't say it.
Man,
Mike,
say
you
it,
D-bag.
man.
Why would you tell him not to say
Nope,
it?
I won't say
Because
it.
I know what he's gonna say. I know it's gonna piss off everybody, and I just rather avoid. Look,
No, I want to know. I don't know
wanna
what
know.
it is.
Well, go back and read your text. You can't read the top line of the graphic. You go back and read your damn text, bro.
Which group chat is it
I
in?
don't know.
It's the Good Bet group chat.
No, see, here's the thing.
How did I
Me
miss
and,
this?
me and McNuggets was having the conversation via text, and he totally botched what I said.
I got it. Teriyaki chicken bowl and broccoli cheddar too.
Now Bull thinks that I think the man is going to average 2 points a game. What I said was, the first things first, he needs to make the roster. If he plays 10 minutes and somehow finds his way around 10 points a game, then he exceeded every expectation.
Earl said he's going to score 10 points a game, which has almost no chance of happening.
Listen. I won't say what I put in the thread. I'll spare you. But
How
this
long ago was this?
This is after the draft. This is what I will say. I wouldn't be surprised if Emoni does well in summer league and everyone starts getting excited. Listen, this dude is not the answer. All right.
Oh, the thing about okay,
This dude is not the answer.
Yeah.
So just get that out of your head right now. Period.
All right. Remember, I said it. G and Earl, 17 and 8 by the time the season starts.
Hey, Monty, man, I'm
He's
cheering
gonna
for
have
you, man.
he's gonna have one big game either in the summer league or in the preseason.
Yep.
And these guys are gonna go
Yep.
bananas.
I seen
Yep.
this reel on Twitter. He said, man, whoever got me, man, I promise you won't regret it.
Good,
I'm
yeah.
He
believing
actually
That's what
used
everybody
used
says.
audio from
yeah, he
this
used
show
audio from
in
this
the
show
reel.
as well. So
Emoni Bates?
Yeah, in his I'm coming to Cleveland post, he used audio from this show.
I think what Emoni needs to do is hang out with me. I'll teach him how to eat a little bit. I can certainly eat.
I guess I don't have high expectations for him right now, right? But it goes back to what we were just talking about.
Earl said that as if that was a controversial take.
It's just there's certain
The guy is the
intangibles.
49th pick in
No,
the draft.
just hear me out. Just hear me
No,
out.
because we're having this conversation is absurd. We had idiots in our chat room saying, yeah, he's going to average 8 points and 5 rebounds. The guy's not even going to play the first half of the season. He might not play the whole year. I mean, this is crazy talk.
I'm not even talking about for this year.
It's crazy talk,
I'm just
Mike.
saying overall, the dude has a chip on his shoulder, right? When you failed when you've disappointed people, everybody loves a good redemption story. And I can speak from my own, man. It drives
redemption
you.
stories can be overrated.
It drives you to another level when people already are counting you out.
And by the way,
there's
what
an
redemption?
there.
It's not like what did he do? What redemption? He just sucked.
There's people. No, it's more than just he sucked.
Yeah.
He's 19 years old.
Yeah.
He's had some moments to where he's shown that he's a head case, right?
Yeah.
I know how it is to be a 19-year-old head case. I know how it is that because of that, people want to count you out all across the board. And all I'm saying is the dude is a talented basketball player. Is he a little immature? Sure, but what 19-year-old isn't? There's one intangible that I don't care what combine you go to or whatever the case may be. You can't measure heart. You can't measure will. You can't measure somebody just.
But we don't know if he's got any of those things.
No, nothing to back this up. I just believe he got it.
I know,
gut instinct.
right? But
I believe he got it.
There's no way to know that.
I'll tell you what so many people in the NBA, not about Emoni, but just in general, talking about guys. Does the tiger change his stripes? I hear that
more often than not. No. More often
and by the way, he's still really young. If he is going to grow up, it's more likely to happen when he's already blown it in his late 20s.
And I don't want to.
And maybe he's going to be a good player.
I don't want to kill him over the. It's 49. Like what are we doing? It's the 49th.
Of course,
pick.
there was not. No, there's not. And there's nothing to get mad about. It's just silly for people to get a little crazy about having any expectations for this season.
Yeah.
If you had to bet in 5 years, is he a serviceable bench player or out of the league? What would you bet?
I would bet serviceable bench player.
He's in Europe.
He's in Europe. Mike?
Based on the trajectory of the 240 second-round picks I researched over the weekend, much more frequently they end up overseas in Europe in the G League than they do turning.
If he's a serviceable NBA player in 5 years, that's an upset, and we'd all take it.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But fans should have zero expectations for this guy for this year, certainly, and you should not be expecting anything at all. And if he gives you anything this year or going forward, it's a nice bonus. You can't expect any. This is not the NFL 49th pick.
And by the way,
yeah,
the chicken teriyaki bowl was delicious.
Was it?
It was delicious.
Panera?
Panera.
Once I saw broccoli cheese soup, I figured it had to be Panera.
So
go ahead.
My wife texted me yesterday, and she's like, "We're going to Panera if you want something." I gotta look at the menu, and I'll text you. And for whatever reason, I just opened my phone, and I thought I was texting her, and I texted the group. And then as soon as I
Thank
hit
God
send,
it wasn't a you-know-what.
You weren't sexting with her or something.
But as soon as I sent it, like a minute later, she said, "We're standing here waiting on your order." I'm like, "I just sent it to you." And I was like, and that's when I realized, like, oh.
So let me ask you a question.
Man.
Let me ask you a question. Bull is going to rip me for this, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Ooh.
Right now, I think that what he brings as far as his offensive game.
Are we talking chicken teriyaki or Emoni Bates?
We're talking Emoni Bates.
All right.
I think right now, what he brings offensively is better than what Isaac Okoro is going to give you, Cedi Osman is going to give you, and Lamar Stevens. Am I wrong in that?
I don't think that he's a good team player.
Okay.
And, like, he can go out on the playground and he can hoop, and he's going to score. But can he play within the fabric of the team? I don't believe he can.
And you're not pulling that out of your ass.
No.
Yeah. So hey, maybe he'll turn it around.
So, but
it was worthy of that. I absolutely think it was a good move to draft.
And that's why.
49.
And that's
because
why.
Even if it's a 3% chance he's going to become something.
Yeah.
Most of the other guys you draft have a 0% chance.
And Summer League is some hoopers.
Right.
And that's why I think he could go to Summer League and have a big game, and people are going to go crazy.
He's going to ball out in Vegas.
So
he's going to look phenomenal in Summer League.
I guess what has Kobe Altman learned from then to now? Because you traded up $5 million to get Kevin Porter Jr., right? You knew what he came with.
Yeah.
And you didn't have the infrastructure in place to sustain that, to develop him, help mature him, etc. Here you are again a couple years down the line, and you're taking another guy with a lot of upside, a lot of potential, but he has some of the same issues. So is the Cavs' infrastructure better today with this pick than it was at that particular time?
No, I don't think so. But I think Porter was a much better.
He was a first-round pick still.
He was a late.
Yeah.
I think he was the last pick of the first round.
Yeah, he was.
And Porter, I think, had a much higher NBA future than Emoni Bates. There's a reason one went 30 and one went 49.
If somebody thought he had as much upside as some people are trying to make it seem, somebody would have taken him.
100%.
One of those good teams at the back of the first round would have taken him.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I think it seems like a lot of teams are looking at this like, yeah, there's some raw talent there, but he's not that talented, and he's a pain in the ass. So why am I going to draft him? That's the way it seems.
I told Mike, this is what's going to make fans go crazy.
Yep.
You got current and former NBA players that's already stamping this dude as
Who besides Gilbert Arenas?
Well, I talked to Donovan Mitchell after the
Yeah, but what's Donovan Mitchell going to say? He's a teammate.
Well, he said that he was going to be a big part of what the Cavs do. I'm just going off what he said.
Donovan Mitchell's not going to be here in 2 years.
I'm just going off what my man told me.
To Earl's point, and I'm going to put a big context, and we'll go from here.
Yeah.
Emoni Bates is not a normal second-round pick. Like, we do have to keep that into a little consideration here. The dude was a top 3 overall prospect coming out of high school. He was number 1 at one point. There was a bunch of reasons it hadn't worked out. He went to Memphis. There was some maturity issues at Memphis. He didn't see eye to eye with how Penny Hardaway wanted to play. He leaves Memphis. He comes back home to Eastern Michigan. He gets in a little bit of legal issue with the gun charge. He has a season.
The bottom line is somebody would have drafted him higher if he had that much upside. Go ahead.
Let me finish. He goes to Eastern Michigan. He has a inefficient but prolific scoring season at Eastern Michigan, playing essentially 1-on-5 for a couple different reasons. A, his teammates weren't very good. B, he doesn't like to pass. Jason said it. And it's what I heard from the same thing. He does not. He plays Emoni Bates basketball. He doesn't necessarily play team basketball at this stage of his career. Can he change? Absolutely. And is it worth the upside at 49 to take a guy who has 6'9", shooting ability, the ability to create his own shot and score at a level that most guys at any level in basketball can't do? Yeah, he's absolutely worth the shot. But I do think, to what Earl's saying and to what a lot of people that we've seen in the chat are saying, is to think he's going to come in and immediately from day one be able to mesh into a well-oiled offensive philosophy and system is asking a guy to do something he's never done in 19 years of playing basketball.
And to do it in about 6 weeks.
Right.
Yes.
It's not happening.
That's fair. But for whatever reason, I believe 3 years from now, 4 years from now, we're talking about a guy at minimum that's a serviceable role player for the Cavs. That's just what my guy.
That would be a
if
win.
he is,
that
it's a home run.
That would be
it's
a great
DPJ.
win.
It's a big name in the 6th round. I don't think it's a apples to apples comparison, but it's exactly the conversation we just had about DPJ as a 6th round pick. If he does that, if he's on this team, it's like Delly. You know, Delly was an undrafted free agent and came in and held a really important role on this team. If they get that out of the 49th pick, it's a home run.
If he's a legitimate minute bench guy in 3 years, that's a huge win by the Cavs.
Sure.
I got zero problem with them taking him, because most of the guys who's taking that point are complete
They're
going to
bust anyway.
Yeah. It was worth the risk. It's just be realistic about what he is right now.
Right.
But not what he may be in a couple of years. All right, Mike, what do we got next?
Well, you want to do the actual topic? Where does this rank among the other cores?
Fair enough. Go
Let's
ahead.
see some of the other cores who have a little more depth in their 25 and younger category. Let's start with Oklahoma City, who has SGA, who just made first-team All-NBA, Chet Holmgren, who ended up being the number 1 overall prospect in Emoni Bates' class. He was the number 2 pick last year. Didn't play as a rookie.
He's
Josh
a rookie.
Giddey, Jalen Williams, who was a lottery pick last year, first-team All-Rookie, and Cason Wallace was the 10th pick this year. That is Oklahoma City's 25 and younger.
Would you rather have Oklahoma City's 25 and under group?
Help me out. Jalen Williams, that's the guy from Kansas, right?
No, he was from Arizona State. He was a 12th pick last year.
Okay.
Finished 2nd in Rookie of the Year.
He was good.
He was very, very good.
Yeah, he was good.
Very, very good.
Obviously, what's his name? Didn't play last. Chip.
Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren. Chip.
It's hard to compare these because the Thunder just ball out with wings. Like, they threw a bunch of wings out there, which is what the Cavs are missing. And the wing's the most important position. Talent-wise, I like the Cavs better, but the Thunder are better equipped to win big in today's NBA. Does that make sense, Mike? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
You think Darius or Mobley are better than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
I think SGA is the best of them, but I would take the next 2 on on Cleveland over Oklahoma City.
You agree?
I think
Like
Shai's the
between
best.
all of them?
Yeah, I like Shai the best. Shai's really
He just
good.
won. He made first-team All-NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great last year.
Yeah.
It
He
should
was
have been
great the year
Spider.
before.
What did he say?
It should have been
Oh,
Spider.
stop
Jesus,
it.
God, here we go.
Well, he's not under 25.
I mean,
so
he has done
he's
things
got it.
LeBron's never done in a Cavs uniform.
Here we go.
Yeah, like
brought
choked
that
like a dog. LeBron never choked.
It should have
like
been my
that.
boy Spider, man.
Hey,
Donovan
you brought,
Mitchell.
I wasn't going to bring it up until you.
Hey,
Hey, let's move on. I don't even want to talk about this no more.
All right, let's go to the Magic.
no offense to Donovan Mitchell, but he played like ass in the playoffs. No
Let's go to
offense.
the Magic next. They're 25 and younger. You have number 1 overall pick last year, Rookie of the Year, Paolo Banchero. You have Franz Wagner. They just took Anthony Black with the 6th pick in the draft. Jalen Suggs was the 4th pick last year. And somehow Markelle Fultz is still
I thought he was like 30 by
24
now.
years
Well,
old.
he was 13 when he was drafted, so.
He's been in the league, what, 6 or 7 years now?
It's been a long time.
He's the same draft class as Jason Tatum.
Well,
That's
Banchero
incredible.
was the rookie of the year.
That's incredible.
Banchero was Rookie of the Year.
I like the Cavs better than the Magic. The Magic have some talent, but I like the Cavs. If we're going,
Those were all ranked higher, right, on this list?
The Cavs weren't listed on the best 25 and under cores. That's why I wanted to add them in, because I actually think their top 3 of Mobley, Garland, and Allen is about as good as any top 3. Now, the depth beyond that, if you don't want to say Okoro and Bates belong in the same discussion as these other ones,
yes.
I'm not going to argue with you, but the top 3 and really the top 2 of Garland and Mobley, I put up against almost any of these, which we got a couple more coming.
Right.
Yeah, I'd go pound for pound the top 3 with anyone in the league. I agree with that.
Yeah. All right, next up, the Spurs. This is a total projection because Victor Wembanyama has never played a single second of any organized basketball in the NBA. But you have him, Jeremy Sohan, who was a first-round pick last year, Devin. I don't know if it's Vassell or Vassell. I get confused.
I say
every time
Vassell,
hear it.
but I don't know.
Vassell. He's a solid role player they have. Lottery pick. Keldon Johnson scored 20 points a game
But
last
you would
year.
trade Garland, Mobley, and Allen for those top 3.
I would, yes.
In a
I
minute.
just think Wembanyama has a chance to be otherworldly special.
Vassell's a really good player, too.
Yeah, and Keldon Johnson, I think, is a really good wing.
That might be the best group. I mean, we're just if Wemby is as good as everybody says he's going to be.
I'm gonna tell you why I think it could be the best group because of who the head coach is. I think Pop can develop all those dudes to reach their full potential.
Does he still have it, Pop, or is he past?
Yes,
is he
this
out of
whole does he still have it thing is nuts. These guys don't forget how to coach, man.
it? He's old though. He's cranky.
It's hard, I think, for like the Grudens who leave, take 10 years off, and come back.
Sure, yeah.
La Russa, 81, take all that time off and come back. Then you could say,
Yeah.
these guys are
All right,
still
then
coaching.
that's a fair point by Earl. I mean,
These guys are
he's
still
the best
coaching.
coach along with Spoelstra, the best
Spo
coaches in the league.
and Pop are terrific.
Yeah.
All right, two
Go ahead, Mike.
more. How about the Pistons? Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, who was the fifth pick last year, fifth pick. They have Jalen Duren, who was a first-round pick, Asar Thompson, who was the 5th pick in last week's draft, and Isaiah
Not
Stewart.
impressed.
This is the worst one in the group.
Cunningham missed half the season, killed my fantasy team. I only finished second instead of first because he got hurt. So F him.
I think the Cavs core is better than theirs personally.
I do too.
Yeah.
This is my least favorite of all the cores.
Yeah, I would agree.
And last but not least, how about Houston? They had too many guys to fit on the graphic, similar to Oklahoma City. So
My
I picked
boy.
5. I put up there. I picked 4, then I put Kevin Porter Jr. just because I knew Earl was up there today. And that was going to sway his decision because he is the biggest Kevin Porter Jr. fan, maybe outside of Kevin Porter Jr.'s immediate family. Joining him on the list, though, you have Amen Thompson, who was the 4th pick, Tari Eason, who was a really good rookie last year, Jabari Smith Jr., who made the all-rookie team. He was the 3rd pick last season, and then Jalen Green, who was the 2nd pick 2 years ago. I'm still taking the Cavs over these guys.
Yes, agreed.
Even 1 through 5, give me the Cavs.
Well,
Their
if-
top 3 is significantly better.
If you recall the whole trade simulator thing that we did on the show when me and Anthony kind of went crazy, I did a trade that brought back Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
What was that for?
I think I gave up Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro, Seti Osman, Lamar Stevens, whatever the case may be. Listen, man, the Cavs should have never moved on from Kevin Porter Jr. I'm going to stick with that.
Wait a second. What did Earl just say again?
Do you remember it? I was out on the panel, and I believe you were there. It was the day after I did my, hey, these could possibly
Oh,
happen,
yeah.
Jared Allen
Whose trade was
trades.
worse, Earl's or Anthony's?
Well,
Anthony's
Anthony
was
traded
worse. He
Donovan
traded out
Mitchell
of
and
Memphis.
Jared Allen for Michael Porter Jr.
I traded Jared Allen.
The trade I just heard was Earl say the Cavs getting 2 good players for 4 useless players. Is that what I got?
I think it was 5 useless players.
Oh,
But yeah,
5
that's the
useless
premise of the
players?
trade.
Yeah.
You think they give up who?
It won't happen, but the Cavs got back Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr.
Why on
Well-
earth would the Rockets make that trade?
I don't think that they would,
Oh.
but it went through on the ESPN trade
Yeah.
simulator.
Oh,
So
gee. That's the worst thing ever created. Is that?
Oh, my God. Everybody thinks they're
friggin'
a
trade
GM
simulator. The crap that I get sent to me. Hey, what do you think about this? Who says no? I'm like, me. I'm not reading this junk. I'm saying no.
I like the Rockets core though. I like their young 25 and under core. I think they're very talented. I think there's a lot of potential, a lot of upside there. Some of those guys got some maturity issues and things like that, but
If you had to pick one of those cores and you're starting a team, which would you take? Including
Who
the
would you
Cavs?
pick, and where would you rank the Cavs?
I
Two
would probably
questions.
go, even though I know nothing about him, I would probably go with the Spurs just because everybody's so crazy, thinks this guy's going to be the next superstar. I would take Oklahoma City second and probably the Cavs third.
Yeah, I like OKC. I mean, I know this isn't part of the conversation, but they have, I think last I looked, 37,613 first-round picks.
No, but just that
no,
core.
but yeah, I know. But I'm saying what they have and their capabilities,
flexibility,
adding to, compared to where the Spurs are and where the Cavs are.
It's 38,936.
They just made another trade.
Yeah, they just made another trade.
I think I would take the Spurs just because of the Wemby factor.
And then the Cavs third.
Probably the Cavs third on that.
Who are we
list.
forgetting? We got Detroit. We put behind.
If we do top three, I'd go Spurs, Cavs. If we have to include, if we're going to 5 or so, and I can add in the picks and the future assets, I take the Thunder over the Cavs.
Okay.
I would go.
So if it's just the top three, you go Cavs second behind
Cavs
Spurs.
second.
I would go Spurs, Cavs, Thunder, Rockets in that order.
Oh, the Rockets, yeah. That's who I forgot.
I put Kevin Porter Jr. on there over Sengun just for Earl, and it worked. Got him hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, that's
number
true.
3. All right.
Yeah.
We got 2 more things we got to get to in 5 minutes. First, we got to remind everybody what's going on July 12th to the 16th, which is